Kane Review, print speaking to the blind, celebrating 40 years of audio newspaper production. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast, recorded at the Bishopbriggs Media Centre by our amazing volunteers. You can get in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter or Instagram using @CueNReview. That is @CueAndReview. You can also contact us directly by emailing information@cuenreview.com. That is INFORMATION @CueAndReview.com, or by calling 0141 772 3976. That's 0141 772 3976.
This week's podcast is dated Wednesday, the 15th of January 2025, and is read by volunteers Corey, Hunter, Ian, Jay Hatton, and Nikki. And we hope you enjoy the podcast.
Staff have right to work without facing any abuse, by Julie Curry. A Scottish ambulance service staff member is verbally or physically assaulted nearly once a day, new figures from the service have revealed. In the year 2023-24, 346 staff experienced abuse, an increase of 11% over the previous year. This included incidents of spitting, punching and threatening staff with bottles or other weapons. Verbal assaults saw the biggest increase over the previous year, rising by 30%. Call handler Declan Cowan, based at SAS's West Ambulance Control Centre in Cardonald, has spoken of one incident. He said, "It was a really busy day and there was a queue of calls all day due to the pressure on the service. I received a call from a patient who I triaged, and the advice was to have them contact their GP or NHS 24. The caller wasn't happy that he was not getting an ambulance and proceeded to shout at me over the phone. He said if he died or anything happened to him, that I would be to blame. He called me horrible and derogatory names that attacked both my character and identity, and he also threatened that he would find out where I was based and come find me. It was a really scary and upsetting call." Michael Dixon, SAS Chief Executive, said, "Our staff are having to deal with incidents nearly every single day, and no form of abuse will be tolerated. They have the right to carry out their work helping patients without fear of assault or abuse. We also strongly condemn the abuse our hard-working call handlers face on a daily basis. We understand calling 999 can be a stressful time, but abusing our staff is totally unacceptable. Physical and verbal assaults can have a significant and lasting impact on our people, sometimes even leading them to leave the ambulance service. We will continue to work with Police Scotland to take action against perpetrators, which includes those who abuse our 999 staff. The service has a range of measures in place to help protect staff, such as training in managing aggression. Individual addresses where staff have previously faced violence or threatening behaviour are automatically flagged to crews, who can request additional support if they believe it's required. That article was written by Julie Curry.
This week in history. January 16, 1970, Colonel Gaddafi became Prime Minister of Libya. On this day last year, a new official portrait was unveiled of the King, rated to hang in public buildings across the UK as part of a controversial £8 million government-funded scheme. January 17, 1977, double murderer Gary Gilmore was executed by firing squad at Utah State Prison. On this day last year, Greenland was losing 30 million tonnes of ice an hour, 20% more than was previously thought, an important study revealed. January 18, 1977. In the worst rail disaster in Australian history, 82 people died when a Sydney-bound train was derailed. January the 19th, 1966, Indira Gandhi became Prime Minister of India, following in the footsteps of her father, Jawaharlal Nehru. On this day last year, the government announced plans for the first ever annual UK-wide day of reflection to remember those who died during the pandemic to take place each March. January the 20th, 1961, John F. Kennedy was inaugurated as the 35th President of the United States. On this day last year, a colourful funeral was held for Camilla Batman-Gilligan, the vibrant founder of the Kids Company charity, who campaigned for disadvantaged children, following her death, aged 61. And that was This Week in History, read by me, Ian McKenna.
Thousands Missing Out on a Better Connection by Kevin McRoberts. Thousands of people across Bishopbriggs are missing out on faster and more reliable broadband, according to Openreach. Around 8,000 homes and businesses in the area are now able to upgrade to full fibre, but only around 17% of them have made the switch so far. The National Digital Network is urging local people to visit openreach.co.uk/ultra-fast full fibre to check if they're now able to upgrade. Robert Thorburn, Openreach Scotland Partnership Manager, said, "Fast and reliable full fibre broadband gives households and businesses a boost. It can have a huge impact on people's daily lives." Local households, including those living in flats and apartments, might also be missing out on great deals. Openreach's network supports more than 700 service providers, meaning you're able to shop around and find a package and price that works for you. It's important to remember that upgrades don't happen automatically. People need to place orders through their broadband service provider to take advantage. Fibre technology offers a faster, more reliable connection that keeps up with the demands of today's digital world. Whether streaming your favourite show, gaming online, making a video call, managing your finances or running a business, fibre keeps everything running smoothly. Packages from a wide range of broadband providers are also increasingly competitively priced, meaning people may pay similar or even less per month than their current bill for a much improved service. Sarah Thiam, Chief Executive at Prosper, the Scottish Economic Alliance, said, "Research consistently shows that ultra-fast broadband gives businesses an edge and provides families and home workers with future-proof connectivity. It can have a huge impact on people's lives, which isn't just great for the local economy, but better for the environment." With so much of Bishopbriggs now covered, there's significant scope for the area to benefit positively. Openreach's new fibre network in Scotland now reaches more than 1.4 million properties. The company plans to roll out the new technology to 25 million homes and businesses by the end of 2026, with an ambition to reach up to 30 million by the end of the decade. That article was written by Kevin McRoberts and it was read by Jahan.
Sea Life offers half-price tickets as recorded by Hunter MacDonald. Eastern Berkshire residents are being invited to take up a limited time offer to get face to fin with over 5,000 mesmerising sea creatures. Until Friday, February the 14th, people with a G postcode can save 50% on an underwater adventure for up to 5 people at Sea Life Loch Lomond. Residents can pre-book half-price tickets for visits up until April the 6th, giving them plenty of time to make the most of this offer. Visitors will be able to see troublesome otter duo Pickle and Cub, be enchanted by rescued olive ridley turtle April, and see some of the amazing creatures that can be found in the lochs of Scotland, including a rare albino dogfish. To take advantage of Sea Life's resident sale, go to www.visitsealife.com/UK/residents sale for more information and to book tickets online. MP wants justice for 6,650 women in her constituency. Local MP Susan Murray has again reiterated her call for the UK Government not to abandon Mid-Dunbartonshire's 6,650 WASPI women. Last month, the UK Labour Government announced that it would not compensate women who lost out due to changes to the state pension age. After Works and Pensions Secretary Liz Kendall confirmed there would be no compensation, Prime Minister Keir Starmer defended the decision, insisting that the taxpayer simply can't afford the tens of billions of pounds in payments. That's despite an Ombudsman report recommending compensation of between £1,000 and £2,950 for each of the women. Figures from the House of Commons Library have revealed that it includes more than 6,500 women in Susan Murray's constituency. Susan said Mid-Dunbartonshire's 6,650 WASPI women deserve justice, but the UK Government has decided instead to abandon them. I have been privileged to meet some of their local campaigners on several occasions, and they have my full and complete support. It is well within the Chancellor's power to reverse this unfair course of action and make sure that the WASPI women in Mid-Dunbartonshire and around the UK get the fair deal they deserve. The Women Against State Pension Injustice WASPI campaign is continuing to seek fair and fast compensation for the 1950s women, around 3.9 million in the UK, affected by the changes to the state pension age. They are not against equalisation of the pension age, but say they do not accept the unfair way changes were implemented, often with inadequate or no notice at all.
Sign up to Race for Life, a report by Julie Curry. Broadcaster and DJ Adele Roberts is urging people in the Eastern Bartonshire area to kick-start the new year by signing up for Race for Life in Glasgow. Anyone who signs up in January can claim 50% off the entry fee as part of a special early bird sale by using the code R, A, C, E, 25, N, Y. Every year, around 34,600 people are diagnosed with cancer in Scotland. Money raised at Race for Life enables scientists to find new ways to prevent, diagnose and treat cancer, moving closer to a world where everyone can live longer, better lives free from the fear of the disease. Entries are open now for the Race for Life 3K, 5K and 10K events, which take place at Glasgow Green on Sunday, May 18th. People of all ages and abilities are welcome, and those in search of some mud-splattered fun can take part in Pretty Muddy Glasgow, a 5K obstacle course at Strathclyde Park, Motherwell, on Saturday, June 14. There's a Pretty Muddy Kids 6 to 12-year-olds, and then teenagers and adults can take on the Pretty Muddy course. Adele was successfully treated for bowel cancer in 2021 and now lives with a stoma, which she affectionately refers to as Audrey. Just 18 months after completing surgery and chemotherapy, she set a Guinness World Record in London as the fastest woman to complete a marathon with an ileostomy. Now she's on a mission to conquer all 6 world major marathons: Berlin, Chicago, New York, Tokyo, Boston and London, to raise funds for Cancer Research UK and the Attitude Mag Foundation. Closer to home, Adele was inspired to do Race for Life by her sister Lois. She said, "Within the space of 2 years, my Auntie Anne lost her Uncle Phil to cancer and then had to go through it herself. Lois wanted to do Race for Life in tribute to Auntie Anne and Uncle Phil and to give back to the organisations that helped them, and she's inspired me to do the same." Cancer Research UK's Race for Life raises millions of pounds every year across the UK to help beat cancer. Lisa Adams, the charity's Scottish spokeswoman, said, "Sadly, nearly 1 in 2 of us will get cancer in our lifetime, but all of us can help beat it. We're proud that Race for Life has already helped double survival rates in the UK. Every penny raised truly makes a difference and powers progress. Sign up today for raceforlife.org." That report was written by Julie Curry and read by me, Nikki.
Teaming up for Doddy. Local MSP Rona Mackay teamed up with Deacon Blue drummer Dougie Vipon at the Scottish Parliament recently to boost the vote for vital research into motor neurone disease. Dougie is an ambassador for the My Name's Doddy Foundation, set up by the late Scottish rugby star Doddy Weir, who sadly passed away from the disease in 2022. The musician and broadcaster visited Holyrood to raise awareness of Doddy Aid 2025, the annual mass participation fundraising event which is run by the foundation, encourages people all over Scotland to rack up some miles, whether walking, running or cycling, to raise funds for research. Rona, SNP MSP for the Strathkelvin and Bearsden constituency, is a huge supporter of the foundation. She said it was brilliant to meet Dougie and the Doddy team at the Scottish Parliament to celebrate the launch of Doddy Aid 2025. 2 years on from Doddy's passing, My Name's Doddy Foundation has committed £18 million to vital research into this dreadful disease, which is amazing. I hope many people will shake off the winter blues and sign up to this brilliant fundraising effort this month with the bonus of getting fit into the bargain. Dougie added the team had a lovely day at Holyrood. It was great to meet Rona and her fellow MSPs to help encourage people to take part in Doddy Aid 2025. I'll be running and cycling to get my Doddy Aid miles in. It really is a fantastic way to start the new year. You can sign up to take part at doddyaid.com. Alert follows scam GP call. Patients registered with GP practices in the NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde area are being alerted to a phone call scam. A patient reported receiving a phone call from an 07 number, in which the caller claimed to be from their GP practice. The message asked the patient to press 1 on their phone to update their contact details. The public is being urged to be alert to this scam. NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde is reminding people that a GP practice will only generally contact you to remind you about an appointment or similar aspect of your care, or to let you know about any disruption of services at your practice. They will never ask for any financial details. Anyone who receives an unsolicited call claiming to be from a GP surgery and asking for details is urged to be cautious. To report a scam call, contact Police Scotland on 101. Scots Act of the Year. The search to uncover the best new and emerging talent in Scotland's music scene is back. BBC introducing Scottish Act of the Year, now in its 4th year, is open to musicians based in Scotland. The prizes include 2 professional recording sessions with BBC Radio Scotland, a coveted spot at Scotland's largest music festival, Transmit, and a bespoke PR campaign. Submissions open on Friday, January the 10th, and close on Monday, January the 27th at 8 p.m. Artists can enter by uploading a track to the BBC Introducing Uploader, tagging it Scotland 2025. Full terms and privacy details can be found at bbc.co.uk/Radio Scotland. After the submission period closes, a panel of judges will whittle down the entries to 4 finalists who will battle out in front of a live audience, which will be televised by BBC Scotland later in the year.
It's good to take some time to talk. A report by Don Renton. People across East Dunbartonshire are being called on to get comfortable and start talking about mental health. Scots are being urged to get thinking about how they can start a conversation about mental health, particularly in workplaces, schools, colleges, communities, and with friends and family for Time to Talk Day on Thursday, February 6. Time to Talk Day is the UK's biggest conversation on mental health, helping to break down barriers and reduce the stigma which prevents so many from being open about their mental health and asking for help when they need it. The day is run in Scotland by See Me, Scotland's programme to end mental health stigma and discrimination. See Me volunteer Paul said that while he's getting more comfortable talking about his mental health, certain severe or complex mental illnesses are still stigmatised. Paul, who has a diagnosis of schizoaffective disorder, explained how the media's negative reporting of certain severe or complex mental illnesses has a role in that. The 34-year-old said, "It's getting easier for me to talk about it as I do it more, sort of like practice makes perfect. But I still feel uncomfortable talking about it to this day. It's more down to certain experiences or aspects of my mental health. I find it easier to talk about it if I'm feeling low compared to I'm hearing voices and they're saying this, and this is quite scary for me, even to my psychiatrist, who will hear this fairly regularly." I think that's largely down to public stigma. If we're talking about hearing voices, for example, or we're feeling paranoid, it's not well discussed in mainstream media. It's quite stigmatised and affects the public's views. Paul says that it's important that the person listening should feel confident helping someone reaching out for support, regardless of their experience or diagnosis. He added, as a society, we've probably made quite a good amount of progress in reducing some of the stigma surrounding more common mental health problems, but there's still a lot of work to be done when it comes to more severe and enduring mental health conditions. While they're now getting talked about more, they're still heavily stigmatised, and it'd be nice to see us starting to move more in the direction as we've done with some other conditions. PhD researcher Paul says that the key to starting a conversation about mental health is for people to genuinely listen and to do so without feeling pressurised to provide answers or advice. See Me director Wendy Halliday said, "Time to Talk Day has given us the opportunity to break down some of the barriers which people who struggle with their mental health continue to face. Whether you're planning a coffee morning in your place of work, a mental health fair in school, or you're planning to check in with a friend, let's take the time to check in and get talking about mental health can make a huge difference in taking away some of the awkwardness that many people still feel. Having a conversation can change and save lives." See Me's website, seemescotland.org, can help you plan how you'll mark Time to Talk Day 2025. That report was written by Don Renton.
Archives Foster Charity Support by Julie Curry. More than 100 years of families opening up their homes and hearts to children across the country is being celebrated this week. For Bernardo's, which has run fostering services since the Victorian era, has opened its archives to reveal the history of fostering. The leading children's charity, Hope's Sharing the Historic Images, will show the incredible impact that fostering can have, and encourage more people to consider fostering at a time when the system is in crisis. Images include a family in 1964 enjoying a meal together, and children being measured, weighed and having their teeth checked outside their foster home in 1939. Brenda Farrell, Bernardo's UK Director of Fostering and Adoption, said, "Our archives hold the history of fostering in the UK. We are sharing these powerful images to demonstrate how people have been bringing children into their families for 150 years. While it's wonderful to see these snapshots of history, we're sharing them against the backdrop of a very real crisis in our society today. Having supported children for a century and a half, we urgently need more people to come forward and consider becoming foster carers to play their part in continuing this legacy." Right now, Scotland is facing a foster care crisis at an unprecedented rate, with too many children still entering the care system and an insufficient number of loving homes to accommodate them. The impact of the crisis is felt most by children in the care system. Without enough potential foster homes, children are already at risk of being placed in unsuitable situations as a last resort. We know fostering is a big decision, but with more children entering the care system each year, there's no time to wait. Your skills and care can change a child's life. The perfect time to foster a child doesn't exist, but the right time is now. Please get in touch with us for a no-strings-attached conversation, and let's talk fostering today. Sharon is a Bernardo's foster carer from Glasgow. She and her husband Andrew have been foster carers for the past 10 years and have provided a safe and loving home to 10 children during that time. She said, "Fostering was something we'd always thought about when going through fertility treatment, because we've always wanted to have kids in our life. I come from a huge family, and it was always important for me to have children in my life and have the whole family experience. I got information from lots of different fostering agencies, but when I got in touch with Bernardo's, the feeling I had was different, and I knew I wanted to go with them. I was petrified at the start. I had to leave my work one day and start fostering the next, and I remember feeling so scared the morning before the kids arrived. But when they did, we had a chat, and they went up to their rooms to play, and it just felt so natural. Within half an hour, it felt normal. Our Bernardo's social worker was fantastic and supported us through it all. From the very beginning, she understood us and how we work, and had a really strong relationship with her. There hasn't been a single day I haven't felt supported by Bernardo's on my fostering journey. Even though you're working on your own a lot of the time when you have the kids in the house, Bernardo's feels like part of our extended family, because they've always been here to support us when they need them. If I ever feel unsure about something or I don't know what to do, the first thing I do is pick up the phone to Bernardo's. A crisis in fostering in Scotland was identified last year when Bernardo's pointed to research by the Fostering Network that revealed the number of foster families required stands at 500. Martin Crew, Bernardo's Scotland director, said, "Fostering in Scotland is in crisis as the numbers of people registered to foster continues to fall year on year. A shortage of foster carers leaves hundreds of children without a safe and loving home, and that is something we're keen to address. We strongly believe that any loving person can make a wonderful foster parent to a child in need." The Bernardo's Archive, one of the largest collections of records relating to children in the UK, and one of the oldest photographic archives in the world, contains more than 500,000 images, handwritten entries and films dating back to 1874. These records document the experiences of children in Bernardo's care or adopted through them since the 1870s. Dr. Thomas Bernardo, the charity's founder, played a key role in developing the concept of fostering, originally known as boarding out. He strongly advocated for the benefits of this approach as early as 1889. For more information on becoming a foster carer with Bernardo's in Scotland, visit www.bernardos.org.uk/foster or call 0800 0277 280. The charities lines are open Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Last year, Bernardo's worked with thousands of children across Scotland through more than 150 services and partnerships. That article was written by Julie Curry.
Have Your Say on Speed Limits, a report by Kevin McRoberts. A series of in-person engagement events are being held as part of the consultation on proposed changes to speed limits in Scotland. The National Speed Management Review is inviting feedback on proposals to lower the national speed limit on single carriageway roads from 60 miles per hour to 50 miles per hour, and to increase speed limits for goods vehicles over 7.5 tonnes on single carriageways from 40 miles per hour to 50 miles per hour, and on dual carriageways from 50 miles an hour to 60 miles an hour. The online consultation has been open since November 27 and has already received over 8,700 responses. In-person events will enable members of the public to ask questions about the proposed changes. The nearest event to East Dunbartonshire is on Wednesday, February 5th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the University of Strathclyde, Level 3, 16 Richmond Street, Glasgow. Transport Secretary Fiona Hislop said, "The Scottish Government remains committed to working towards our ambitious goals of making Scotland's roads the safest in the world by 2030. We have already had a huge response to the online consultation, and these events will help people to learn more about the proposed changes. It is also really important that we hear views from the public and stakeholders. Evidence from the National Speed Management Review indicates that revising speed limits could lead to a significant reduction in the number of injury collisions on our roads while maintaining journey times and enhancing journey time reliability. I'd like to thank everyone who has taken the time to engage with the consultation so far and hope people will take the opportunity to attend these sessions." That report was by Kevin McRoberts.
£19 million invested by National Lottery. Mid-Dunbartonshire MP Susan Murray has thanked the National Lottery for its record of investing in projects in the local community. Figures produced at the end of 2024 showed that Mid-Dunbartonshire has received £19,390,344 of National Lottery funding since the lottery began in 1994. This has funded a total of 582 projects across the area since the lottery began. Projects have included £5,000 given to Bearsden and Mulgai Highland Games Association to build a new clubhouse and accessible toilet, as well as £5,870 for East Dunbartonshire Voluntary Action to celebrate their 40th anniversary. Deafblind Scotland also received £17,823 for outreach work and increasing awareness of deaf blindness. Ms Murray said that under harsh economic circumstances, National Lottery funding represents a beacon of hope for those who want to make a difference in their communities, which has made it a beloved national institution throughout the UK. The Mid-Dunbartonshire MP added, "The National Lottery is a treasured institution that has done a huge amount of good work in communities across the United Kingdom over the past decade. In Mid-Dunbartonshire, we have received over £19 million of investment for great causes including local sports clubs, charities and community action groups. This funding has allowed these organisations to help people and throughout our community, and I thank the National Lottery for everything they have done to make this happen."
Quicker care for many at minor injury units. A report by Kevin McRoberts. Patients who visit minor injury units in the NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde area are generally seen, treated and discharged in 3 hours or less from arrival to leaving care. Minor injury units are the best care option for anyone who needs treatment for conditions such as cuts needing stitches, broken bones below the knee and elbow, sprains and minor burns, as they have specialised staff, facilities and processes dedicated to caring for these issues. They are also a quicker and more comfortable route to care for many conditions compared to visiting A&E departments that are prioritised for urgent and life-threatening conditions. Recent figures from NHS GGC reveal that 2/3 of people who self-present at A&Es could receive the help they need elsewhere. There are so many alternatives to A&E that will get you seen more quickly, said Nicola Baxter, lead nurse at the Minor Injury Unit at New Victoria Hospital. For example, at our minor injury units across NHS, Greater Glasgow and Clyde, most patients are treated and sent home within 2 hours. Even at our larger sites, the average patient is treated and sent home in just over 3 hours. That's a huge difference compared to our A&E departments. There's often a misconception that MIUs are second best to A&E, but MIUs are fully equipped and staff have a vast experience in dealing with minor injuries such as breaks, minor burdens and stitches, so it's a better place to treat these. Why spend hours in an A&E waiting room when you could be treated in a place like this? All you have to do is to call NHS 24 on 111. While you can walk into A&E for treatment, patients with the most urgent needs will be seen first. If your condition isn't very urgent or life-threatening, you may be asked to seek help elsewhere or wait for hours while more urgent cases are prioritised. Nicola added, "We understand that when someone has an accident or is unwell, our instinct is to get help as quickly as possible. If the condition is life-threatening, you should always call 999 or visit A&E, but if it's not very urgent, A&E might not be the best place to be. You could be asked to go elsewhere for help, and if you do need to wait, it could be for hours while sicker people are seen first." That report was by Kevin McRoberts.
Family announcements. In memoriam. Patterson, Carmen, Nee Young. In loving memory of Carmen, a dear wife to Jim, wonderful mother, daughter, sister, sister-in-law, and aunt who passed away on January 14th, 2024. Sadly missed along life's way, quietly remembered every day. We will always love you, Mum and Dad.
Careers ready for takeoff at Glasgow Airport. A report by Kevin McRoberts. Glasgow Airport will host its annual jobs fair this Friday, January 17, with more than 1,000 roles available. Over 35 employers based across the airport's campus will be represented at the event, which will be held in the Academy Suite within the Holiday Inn at Glasgow Airport from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. A diverse range of job opportunities are available across the airport, including security, retail, facilities management, catering, ground handling and transportation. Building on the success of last year's event, which attracted nearly 2,000 attendees, recruitment teams from a diverse range of airport-based and associated partners will be in attendance. This includes fire service provider FALCK, ground handlers Swissport and Mingus, security specialists, ICTS and catering specialists, select service partners, SSP, will be on hand to discuss full-time, part-time and seasonal employment opportunities. Airlines Loganair and Jet2 will also be in attendance to recruit for a range of positions, as well as special assistance providers OCS and facilities management company ABM. Transport operators McGill's will also be recruiting for a large number of trainee and public service vehicle PSV driver positions across their networks. Several of the airport's retailers will also be in attendance, offering a range of opportunities. In a first this year, job seekers with sensory issues can visit the event during the planned quiet hour between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. Mark Beveridge, Managing Director of Glasgow Airport, said, "Our jobs fair plays a key role in allowing the many organisations that play a vital part in supporting the airport to have the opportunity to meet, connect and hire staff to support the demands of a busy operation. Glasgow Airport is a fantastic place to work with a wide range of roles for many different skill sets. Anyone interested in a career in aviation, retail, customer service or security, I would encourage to head along to the jobs fair to see what opportunities are available. Representatives from Invest in Renfrewshire and Job Centre Plus staff will also be present to offer support and advice, while translators will also be in hand to support Polish, Romanian and Ukrainian job seekers. Those attending should bring with them an up-to-date CV and valid ID such as a passport or driving licence. Given the security requirements involved in working at the airport, many of the roles on offer will require a full 5-year checkable history. Several organisations will also be interviewing on the day. Free parking in the terminal's multi-storey car park will be available on the day only to those who register in advance to attend the job fair and will be validated on departure. The first bus 500 express service between Glasgow city centre and the airport will also be free to use for those attending and have pre-registered for the event. To register your interest in the Glasgow Airport Jobs Fair, email jobsfair@glasgowairport.com. That report was by Kevin McRoberts.
Date Wednesday the 15th of January, the Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald's letters page. Let's talk. Please send your letters via email to kirkyherald@jnscotland.co.uk. That's KIRKY HERALD @JNSCOTLAND.co.uk and write letters in the subject field. Please keep letters to a maximum of 300 words. Letters cannot be published without a name and postal address. Also include a daytime phone number if possible. We reserve the right to edit any letter. Prevention measures required. Sir, a significant strain on the NHS has been caused by an extraordinary level of recent hospital flu admissions. In the week ending 15 December, Public Health Scotland's weekly surveillance report showed an 82% increase in emergency hospital flu admissions. It also highlighted that over 2/3 of those eligible for the flu vaccine had chosen not to be inoculated. An 83% increase in those testing positive for flu was recorded in week 51, and a further increase in the latest week recorded. Since the end of the pandemic, clinicians have been warning about a winter flu spike. This year's strain has been particularly virulent, yet more of those eligible have not taken the vaccine. The NHS should consider rolling out unclaimed vaccines to children or other workers exposed to vulnerable groups. Many, like me, fully inoculated since the first lockdown, will not have had any virus in that time, partly through luck, but mainly by following sound preventative measures. Given the NHS has suffered this winter through falling flu vaccine take-up, one wonders why the government did not initiate the type of vaccine campaign it ran during the pandemic. It seems lessons of good public health practice have been forgotten, yet if our governments are to save the NHS, surely such preventative measures are vital. Yours, etc., Neil Anderson, by email. Dying in the cold. Sir, as we've seen, this recent cold snap brings snow and ice to large parts of the country. The low temperatures are likely to have a disproportionate impact on those who are at the end of their lives, a demographic that is already more likely to be in poverty than any other group. As temperatures dropped, many terminally ill people would have been forced to make the impossible choice between exacerbating their condition by living in an inadequately heated home or financial hardship. Nobody should spend the final days of their life in a cold home, but energy costs can increase dramatically after a terminal diagnosis, as people need to spend more time at home and need to have the heating on higher for longer. Each year, 110,000 people across the UK die in poverty, up from 90,000 in 3 years. And urgent action is needed by the Scottish and UK governments to end this cost of dying crisis. We've launched our petition urging the government to take further steps to support people at the end of life with energy costs, including by introducing a social tariff. A social tariff that halves the energy bills of people with a terminal diagnosis could lift as many as 54,000 dying people out of fuel poverty. If you or a loved one are affected by terminal illness or have been affected by dying, death and bereavement, Marie Curie can help. Visit mariecurie.org.uk or call our free Marie Curie support line on 0800 090 2309. Yours, etc., Cyril Middlemas, Marie Curie Policy Campaigns Manager. 2-child benefit cap. Sir, the debate on the SNP's budget inevitably included the 2-child benefit cap. I don't understand why those, like the Tories who defend the cap, or even Labour who say they want to scrap it but are scrapping for excuses not to, don't reiterate the following. In the past 7 years, tens of thousands of families had at least one additional child when they either knew or should have known that a third, fourth or fifth child born after April 2017 would not get the benefit. Just to be clear, families with more than 2 children born before that date still get the benefit. And if they knew that, why did they not employ the same family planning method that other responsible Scots use, unless they simply wanted more children and knew and accepted the responsibility and costs? Yours, etc., Alan Sutherland, by email. Achieving net zero. Sir, government pressure is being increased on the public and businesses for the UK to meet its climate targets, as taxes are increased to pay for net zero 2050. This need not be the case if politicians and those in the climate industry lead by example. There are 650 MPs, 129 MSPs and 798 in the House of Lords, and over 100,000 councillors. There are climate officers on staff in every council in the UK, and hundreds of thousands of people with climate in their job title. Then there are the 20 plus eco-warrior groups with thousands of members. If they all personally did what they demand the public would do, the UK would easily achieve its net zero targets and leave the rest of us to get on with our lives without green interference. Yours, etc., Clark Cross, by email. And that was this week's letters page.
Care and Dignity for Final Journey by Kevin McRoberts. A new crematorium in East Dunbartonshire has officially opened its doors with the aim of providing exceptional care and support to local bereaved families. Bishopbriggs Crematorium has been built by Westerly Group, one of the UK's largest independent owners and operators of crematoria and cemeteries, and is set within beautifully landscaped gardens of remembrance, which provide peaceful places for people to visit and reflect. It is located midway between Bishopbriggs and Kirkintilloch and provides a peaceful and beautiful setting for families to mourn, commemorate and celebrate the lives of their loved ones. Local people will be able to visit the new crematorium and its grounds on Saturday, February 1st, when it hosts its inaugural Community Open Day between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Overlooked by Campsie Hills and surrounded by agricultural farmland, Bishopbriggs Crematorium is equipped with the latest technology and high-quality facilities. The focal point is a modern, welcoming chapel which can seat 120 people, with significant additional standing room available. There are 80 standard parking spaces, an overflow car park, 7 accessible parking spaces, 3 taxi spaces, and electric vehicle charging points. The first manager of Bishopbriggs Crematorium is Donnie Connor, who has been with Westerly Group since 2019, having previously worked long-term in social care. He's no stranger to helping to establish a new crematorium within its local communities, having been the first manager of Westerly's Stirlingshire Crematorium when it opened in 2019. He said, "I am proud to be the first manager of this exceptional crematorium, which is one of the most environmentally friendly facilities in the UK. We are using the very latest in cremator technology, which makes a significant difference towards offsetting our carbon footprint. We have also installed a zonal heating system and low-energy lighting." He added, "Now that we are open, we can warmly welcome and serve people from the communities in and around the Greater Glasgow area and provide them with the exceptional care that the Westerly Group is renowned for. We proudly ensure that every service is delivered with respect and dignity, leaving mourners with comforting memories from their loved one's final journey." A beautiful, welcoming and comforting environment has been created here, and I would like to invite local people to our crematorium to talk to us about the many ways we can support them when they need us. Bishopbriggs Crematorium is Westerly's 4th Scottish site, joining Borders Crematorium, Stirlingshire Crematorium and West Lothian Crematorium. To find out more about Bishopbriggs Crematorium, its team, facilities and the services offered, as well as details about the Community Open Day on Saturday, February 1st, visit www.bishopbriggscrematorium.co.uk. That article was written by Kevin McRoberts.
Wednesday 15th of January, District News Churches. News from Milton of Campsie. Milton of Campsie, as a congregation, continues to sponsor Alison, a little girl from Ecuador, through a retiring offer to compassion. Alison is 8 years old and lives with her mother and father, both of whom are out of work. She loves playing with her doll and drawing and painting. She attends school where her favourite subject is art. Our young people in EPIC and crossover exchange letters with her on a regular basis. Cafe Connect is back in business, Tuesdays 9:30am until 12 noon. The Guild meets at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, when Bill Keane will present photographs to music. Time to pray is at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, followed by Teams meeting at 7:45 p.m. Baby, Anchor and Junior sections meet at 6:15 p.m. on Friday. Next Sunday's montage will be focused on hands that do dishes, hands that write or draw, hands that are cold, clean or dirty. Send us a photo of your hands. Next Sunday is also Care Home Day. Meet outside Kintyre at 2:20 p.m. Next Monday, 9:45 a.m. Baby and Toddler Group, 2 p.m. Hobbies Club, 7:30 p.m. Badminton Club. Home Church Scotland. Lammermuir Road, Kirkintilloch, G66 2AB. Home Church Kirkintilloch. Home Church East End, Carmyle, G32 8DP. And online. A church for all ages. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace. Romans chapter 15 verse 13. Sunday, January 19th, 9:30am and 11:30am. Worship service, followed by refreshments. A warm welcome awaits you at either service, which will be identical. Monday, ladies' prayer meeting, 7pm. Thursday, football. Friday, youth group, 7:30pm. Friday, prayer meeting, 7:30pm. Home radio is available every day. See Facebook, Instagram and Home Church website for the latest information for Carmyle and Kirkintilloch. Kirkintilloch Church of God. At Regent Hall, Regent Street on Sunday, there will be a good news service at 4pm. The speaker this week will be Tony Smith. A warm welcome to everyone who is able to join us. On Wednesday, the coffee corner is open from 12 noon to 2pm. Join our friends and neighbours for home baking and coffee. For up-to-date and further information on our services, visit our website on www.regenthall.org. That's www.regenthall.org. The Bible says, therefore, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Romans chapter 8 verse 1. St James Church, Hilton Road, Bishopbriggs. Rector Reverend Canon Paul Watson, 0141 230 4080. On Saturday, January 18th, Dads and Kids is held from 10:45am to 12 noon and is a great chance for dads with young children to get together around some banter, bacon rolls and coffee while the kids play. On Sunday, January 19th, there will be a Sunday club at 10:30am. There is a communion service at 11am on Thursday, January 16th in the chapel, and on Sunday, January 19th, the chapel at 9am and at 10:30am in the church with hymns. Everyone is welcome to come along to any of the services. Do stay on for tea and coffee and fellowship afterwards. There are other virtual services and groups. For up-to-date and further information, refer to our social media. Facebook, St James the Less Bishopbriggs. Website, www.stjamesbishopbriggs.org.uk. Lenzie Union Parish Church. The Sunday service is at 11am. Young people are also welcome to Lighthouse and Bible class. A live stream of the service will be available on YouTube. The meeting place opens for tea and coffee and home baking every Wednesday 10am to 12 noon in the new hall. Everyone, from the very young to the young at heart, is welcome to attend. We also have a good selection of greetings cards and second-hand books for sale. LUPC Bridge Club is on Wednesdays in the Old Hall, 1pm to 3pm. Come play this classic game. The coffee pot opens on Fridays for tea, coffee, home baking. A warm, friendly atmosphere for all ages. Silver Movers is on Monday, January the 20th at 1:30pm in the Old Hall. Gentle movement to music is good for both the body and the brain, and for seniors is highly beneficial. Sherry Carnegie, dance instructor, is going to lead us. Please bring a bottle of water if needed. Lenzie Old Parish Church. Sunday worship begins in the church at 11am. A creche is available for children under 3. Time Out, the social group for ladies of all ages, is on Monday evenings at 7:45pm in the church hall. The Quilt and Craft group meet every Wednesday 10am to 12 noon in the session room. Thursday afternoon club is on Thursday, January 16th, 2pm to 4pm. Enjoy tea and coffee and home baking, followed by a game of Scrabble, Dominoes, Rummikub or Uno. If preferred, you can sit back and chat and or do your knitting. There are books for sale and any donations go to Women's Aid. Scottish Country Dancing is on every Thursday at 7:15pm to 9:30pm. Come along for fun, fitness and friendship. You will be made very welcome. Kenmure Parish Church. The Reverend Leslie Grieve will lead our Sunday morning worship beginning at 11am. Visitors to the area will be made welcome when they join us for our services. You can attend either in person or online on our YouTube channel. The service on YouTube can be watched later or live at a time that suits you. You can find our channel by simply searching for Kenmure Bishopbriggs on YouTube. There will be a period of fellowship and following the service in the hall when teas, coffees, juice and biscuits are served. The most up-to-date details of all of our groups that are currently running may be found in the What's On section of our website, kenmure-church.co.uk. That's KENMURE-CHURCH.co.uk. To find us on Facebook, just search for Kenmure Parish Church. If you would like to join our WhatsApp group or receive the Bible studies from ABC, then email us at kenmurechurch@icloud.com. St Mary's Parish Church. The service on Sunday, January 19 begins at 11 a.m, as usual, and will be taken by the Reverend Dr. Ruth Morrison. Age-appropriate activities will be provided for our young church in the halls. Wednesday welcome resumes on Wednesday, January 15th, when tea, coffee and home baking will be available from 10 a.m. until 11:30 p.m. This will be followed by a short service from 11:30 a.m. until 12 noon. The craft group also resume on Monday, January 13th, beginning at 2 p.m. We will be discussing our activities for the coming year. On Wednesday, January 22nd, St Mary's will be hosting a Big Knit. The church will be open from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. as part of the Glasgow Presbytery's Close Knit project. We will be knitting squares which will be sewn together into blankets. Come and stay as long as you wish. Tea and coffee will be available all day, and a light lunch will be available from 12 noon. Our monthly open days resume on Wednesday, February 5th, when the church will be open from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. Tea and coffee will be available all day. Musical entertainment will be provided by Sally McClellan and John Thompson beginning at 12:30 p.m. Torrens Parish Church. The morning service, in person, is at 10:30 a.m, conducted by Reverend Stuart Irvin. During the service, the youngsters meet together in creche, junior church and FROG. To join the service online, go to www.torrensparishchurch.online.church. The cafe is open every Wednesday 9 a.m. to 12 noon for tea and coffee and delicious home baking. Why not come and taste for yourself? The Boys Brigade meet on Wednesdays 7 p.m. to 9 p.m, P7 to S6. To find out about regular weekly activities, check the website for what's on at www.tpc.org.uk. Cadder Parish Church. Welcome to everyone here for our morning service. The service is led by our minister, Reverend Ewan McLean, and music led by Jose Javier Usendo Malo, MMUS. Our minister is on annual leave from January the 6th to the 20th. On Sunday, January the 12th, the service will be led by Reverend Ewan McLean, and on Sunday, January 19th, by Rona Gold. Ewan is originally from the island of Lewis, and has served as a parish minister at Townhead in Glasgow and then Gibraltar. Rona is a manager for Argyll and Bute Council, and on top of a demanding job, is also training to be an ordained local minister. You may remember that she did a placement with us. I'm sure that you will be well served by Ewan and Rona. Urgent pastoral cover will be carried out by Gordon McAnally on 0141 563 2685. Wednesday 15th of January, District News General. Charity. Resolve to volunteer with the NSPCC. Childline 0800 1111. Online. On the phone anytime. Now that 2025 has arrived, many of us will be considering some changes we might like to make in the new year. Some people may be thinking they'd like to be more charitable in 2025, and that could mean a variety of things. Donating to a charity like the NSPCC would be a fantastic way to support our work with children and young people. We rely on donations for most of our funding, and every pound can make a genuine difference to the lives of children. But we appreciate the cost of living crisis might mean committing to regular donations could be difficult. But if you can spare just a few hours each month, there are lots of ways to donate your time to the NSPCC and help keep more children safe. Another option is to join one of our fundraising groups in Scotland, or you can help organise the various community events we run across the country to raise money for the NSPCC. Full support is offered from one of our community fundraising managers, and we're always keen to hear from new people with inspiring ideas. Or, if exercise and activity are top of your resolution list, you could sign up to one of the more active challenges on our website. And if you're interested in visiting new places and meeting new people, volunteering with the NSPCC School Service could be for you. School Service volunteers help deliver our Speak Out, Stay Safe workshops in local primary schools across Scotland. Another volunteering opportunity which will allow you to meet new people and offer vital support to children is as a childline counsellor. Working from one of the service's 2 bases in Scotland, Glasgow and Aberdeen, our counsellors are available around the clock every day to help young people deal with anything that may be worrying them. You can also volunteer from your home as one of our email counsellors who respond to emails from young people who contact us. All counsellors are given extensive training before they begin helping children to ensure they're ready for the role, and the teams support each other as well as the young people who contact the service. To find out more about the various volunteering opportunities with the NSPCC, go to www.nspcc.org.uk/support-us. Welcome a fun-loving doggy pal. 5-year-old pocket bulldog Moss, who is in the care of Dogs Trust West Calder, recently played ball with Scottish rugby star Ewan Ashman. Ewan visited the rehoming centre in December to meet current residents and encourage people to consider adopting a rescue dog. Playful Moss, who has been in the charity's care for 7 months, hopes his enviable ball skills will soon bag him not only a winning try, but a forever home. Moss is looking for a home where he is the only pet. He could live with children aged 16 and over, and would love a garden where he can play with his beloved ball. For more information about Moss, visit www.dogstrust.org.uk/West Calder. Society of Antiquaries. Kirkintilloch and District Society of Antiquaries held their first meeting of 2025 on January the 9th. Despite the cold, the meeting was very well attended. To hear a talk by Hugh Gaffney on the Auchingeach mining disaster of 1959. Hugh has been an active trade union representative with the Communications Workers Union, CWU, for 35 years, a local district councillor and a Labour Member of Parliament for Coatbridge and Christon and Beltshill. Hugh described the history of the pit, which opened in 1907, and the circumstances leading to the disaster on the morning of September 19th, 1959. The night shift reported problems with a ventilation fan overheating when they came to the surface at 6:30 a.m. By the time 48 men in the day shift started to descend into the mine, the fire had taken hold and was generating lots of black smoke and carbon monoxide. A rescue team from Coatbridge went into the pit and brought one miner, Tam Green, out alive, but were unable to reach the rest. The fire was so fierce that the decision was made to flood the pit at 10:30 p.m. The bodies of the 47 miners were brought out 4 days later. They had died from carbon monoxide poisoning. This was the worst post-war mining disaster in Scotland, and the pit never reopened. An inquiry was held in January 1960 and the management was heavily fined. A national appeal for the miners' families raised the equivalent of £3 million in just 6 weeks. St Columba's Men's Club. At 7:30 p.m. every Monday, St Columba's Men's Club meets in the Church Hall in Old Isle Road, Kirkintilloch, and offers a very warm welcome, together with the chance to play a bit of pool or snooker, dominoes, or even some table tennis, or just enjoy a cup of coffee or tea and a chat. Members come from all around. If you would like more details, contact either Ian Gibb on 0141 776 5453 or Jim Kennedy on 07767 124 416. Horticultural Society. The next meeting will be on Thursday, January 16th in the Enterprise House from 7:30pm to 9:30pm when Robert Sherlock, one of our members who is currently studying for the relevant City and Guilds qualification, will talk about growing and maintaining fruit trees. New members are welcome to turn up on the night or call Paul Malcolm on 0141 578 1520 or visit our website www.kirkintillochhorty.org.uk. And that was this week's District News General, date Wednesday the 15th of January.
Public notices. Planning notices. Scottish Government, gov.scot. The Town and Country Planning Environmental Impact Assessment Scotland Regulations 2017. Notice under Regulation 21. The proposed development at site of Johnston Road, Gartcosh, North Lanarkshire, G698DW, is subject to an Environmental Impact Assessment, EIA, under the above regulations. Notice is hereby given that the EIA report has been submitted to Scottish Ministers by Bellway Homes and Dushney Properties relating to the Section 42 application for variation of Condition 16, no build areas, attached to planning permission, in principle 13/01958/PPP, regarding residential development of up to 450 units, access and assorted works at site at Johnston Road, Gartcosh North, Lanarkshire, G698DW, as notified under the Town and Country Planning Development Management Procedure Scotland Regulations 2013. The application is subject of an appeal to Scottish Ministers Case Reference PPA 3202170. A reporter, Miss Sinead Lynch, has been appointed to determine the appeal. Possible decisions relating to the proposed developments are approval of the application without conditions, approval of the application with conditions, refusal of the application. A copy of the EIA report, the associated application and other documents submitted with the application may be inspected free of charge at all reasonable hours at the place where the Register of Planning Applications is kept by the Planning Authority for the area at North Lanarkshire Council, Planning and Place, Civic Centre, Windmill Hill Street, Motherwell, ML1 1AB. All the case documentation, including this additional information, is published on our website www.dpea.scotland.gov.uk. On accessing the website, enter the case reference PPA-320-2170 in the Search by Case reference box to find all documents relating to this case. Copies of the EIA report may be purchased by contacting Dr. Ian Buchan, Enviro Centre, 8 Eagle Street, Craighall Business Park, Glasgow, G4 9XA, at the cost of £600 or £25 for a digital copy. An electronic copy of the non-technical summary is available for free from the same contact. If you cannot obtain or access a copy, please contact our offices at dpea@gov.scot. Any person who wishes to make representations to Scottish Ministers about the additional information should make it in writing within 30 days beginning with the date of this notice. Quoting reference PPA-320-2170. To Planning and Environmental Appeals Division, DPEA, Hadrian House, Calendar Business Park, Falkirk, FK1 1XR, or by email to audrey.devoy, that's AUDREY .devoy @gov.scot. DPEA collect information if you take part in the planning process. Use DPEA websites, send correspondence to DPEA, or attend a webcast. To find out more about what information is collected, how the information is used and managed, please read the DPEA's privacy notice at www.beta.gov.scot/publications/planning-and-environmental-privacy-notice. David Henderson, Planning and Environmental Appeals Division. East Dunbartonshire Council Public Notices. Civic Government (Scotland Act 1982). Application for grant of late hours catering licence. The undernoted has applied for the grant of late hours catering licence in terms of the above Act. Name and address of applicant: BK UK Group Limited, 5 New Street Square, London, EC4A 3TW. Premises: Burger King, Strathkelvin Retail Park, Glasgow, G64 2TS. Day-to-day manager: Alison Carson. Extension of hours: Monday to Sunday, 11 p.m. until 5 a.m. Drive-through only. Any objections or representations in terms of paragraph 3 brackets 1 of Schedule 1 of the Act should be logged with the undernoted no later than 28 days from the publication date of the newspaper in which this advertisement appears. Chief Solicitor and Monitoring Officer, Legal and Regulatory Services, East Dunbartonshire Council, 12 Strathkelvin Place, Kirkintilloch, G66 1TJ. Email civic.licensing@eastdunbarton.gov.uk. East Dunbartonshire Council. New Economic Development Strategy. The Environmental Assessment (Scotland Act 2005. Screening Determination under Section 8 (1). East Dunbartonshire Council intends to prepare the New Economic Development Strategy in accordance with Section 8 (1) of the Environmental Assessment (Scotland Act 2005. East Dunbartonshire Council has determined, in agreement with the consultation authorities, that the strategy is unlikely to have significant environmental effects and that the strategic environmental assessment is not required. By virtue of Section 10 of the Environmental Assessment (Scotland Act 2005, a copy of the determination notice is hereby publicised. A copy of the determination and any related statement of reasons are available on the website at Strategic Environmental Assessments East Dunbartonshire Council. Members' surgeries. Councillors' arrangements for interviewing residents. Ward 5, Bishopbriggs South. Councillor Gordon Lowe, 18th of January 2025, Bishopbriggs Academy, dining area, 10 a.m. until 10:45 a.m. Councillor Gordon Lowe, 18th of January 2025, Bishopbriggs Library and Community Centre, Room 1, 11:15 a.m. until 12 noon. Councillor Gordon Lowe, 18th of January 2025, Auchnairn Early Years and Community Hub, Room 1, 12:30 p.m. until 1:15 p.m. Ward 7, Kirkintilloch East and North and Twecker. Councillor Pamela Marshall, 18th of January 2025, Kirkintilloch Hub, Room 1, 10 a.m. until 10:45 a.m. Councillor Pamela Marshall, 18th of January 2025, Hillhead Community Centre, Room 2, 11:15 a.m. until 12 noon. Councillor Pamela Marshall, 18th of January 2025, Twecker Healthy Living and Enterprise Centre, 12:15 p.m. until 1 p.m. Between surgeries, counsellors can be contacted at the Members Support Unit on 0300 1234 That phone number again for the Members Support Unit is 0300 1234
Wednesday, 15th January. Sport. McCabe calling time and career. Report by Brian Newell. Petershill legend Ross McCabe has explained why he decided to hang up his boots partway through the season. The central defender made more than 300 appearances with the club over 3 separate spells. McCabe's move into junior football came after he died on the pitch while playing for Hamilton Accies against Clyde in 2006. The then 18-year-old slid in to tackle Dougie Imrie and was accidentally kicked in the neck. McCabe went into cardiac arrest and was saved by Clyde director Dr Frank Dunn and the physios from both sides using a defibrillator. After having a pacemaker fitted, he would manage a return to the sport in 2008 with Petershill and remained playing for the next 16 years. As well as McCabe's 3 spells with Peasy, he would also turn out for Pollock, Cumbernauld United and Cambuslang Rangers. However, with his pacemaker currently needing replaced, he has decided, at the age of 36, to call it quits. McCabe told the Daily Mail, "I remember it all very, very clearly. I slide tackled Dougie Imrie and he tried to jump over me and kicked my neck. It was a complete accident. I thought I was winded when I was laying in the park. I tried to get up and then was out of it. I was in cardiac arrest for 4 minutes. I can't remember any great pain beyond the impact, but the people who came on saved my life. It's that simple. I took a wee bit of time out and had to be fitted with a pacemaker, but when that was done I knew I wanted to play again. Nothing fazed me at first. I was a wee bit apprehensive, but after that I just got on with it. I decided to pack it in because my pacemaker needs replaced. There is a wee wire loose, and by the time I get it out I'll have another one fitted and recover. I'll be 37. It's a decent time to stop, but I will miss the dressing room. I feel it a wee bit already." And that report was written by Brian Newell and read by Ian McKenna. Lifestyle is not linked to dementia. Willie Stewart, Honorary Professor at the University of Glasgow, led the latest study. Report by Brian Newell. A new study has found no evidence that lifestyle factors are responsible for the elevated dementia risks observed among former professional footballers. Influence of health and lifestyle factors on dementia risk among former professional soccer players was funded by the FA, PFA, National Institutes of Health and Medical Research Council. Led by consultant neuropathologist Professor Willie Stewart from the University of Glasgow, the FIELD study sheds more light on the potential reasons why former professional footballers experience higher risk of dementia compared with the general population. The research, published in JAMA Network Open, draws on data from the electronic health records of 11,984 former professional football players and 35,952 matched population controls in Scotland. Researchers compared key dementia risk factors across the 2 groups, including smoking, depression, alcohol-related disorders, diabetes, hypertension, hearing loss and obesity. The study team found the contribution of these factors to dementia outcomes was notably lower in former players than in the general population. This latest study builds on previous FIELD study research, which in 2019 demonstrated that former professional footballers had a 3.5 times higher rate of death from neurodegenerative disease. Additional research in 2021 showed a direct association between career length and dementia risk, with the risk of neurodegenerative disease increasing up to 5-fold for those with the longest careers. Professor Stewart said, "Our latest results suggest the relationship between the higher rates of neurodegenerative diseases among former professional footballers is not driven by those wider general health and lifestyle factors, widely recognised as dementia risk factors. As such, while interventions to address general health and lifestyle risk factors should remain recommended, the priority for neurodegenerative disease risk mitigation among contact sports athletes should continue to focus on the reduction, if not removal, of exposure to repetitive head impacts wherever practical." And that report was by Brian Newell. Women's football. City need to find an even higher level. Glasgow City forward Bruno Oliveira believes the side can be better for the full 90 after Sunday's 6-1 home win to Aberdeen. It didn't take long for the SWPL1 leaders to find the net as Nicole Kozlova lobbed in after 6 minutes. 4 minutes later she doubled the advantage, while Oliveira and Natalie Vrobel also found the net with just 15 minutes played. However, it would be 5 minutes into the second period before Lisa Forrest added the fifth, and in 74 minutes a Oliveira header made it 6-0. City would not keep a clean sheet as 10 minutes from time Nicola Jameson grabbed a consolation. Oliveira told the club's media team, "I thought the first 25 minutes was really brilliant, but after that we let ourselves down a little bit. There was a lack of concentration here and there across the whole team, and we can be better for the full 90. Whenever you get a fast start, it is always hard to keep up that pace, but all round the level could have been better." City are idle this weekend before heading to Hibs on January 26th. Petershill hosting Renfrew was only one of 3 games to survive the weather in the WOS League on Saturday, but they lost 2-1 in the First Division. Junior football Saturday fixtures. First Division, Renfrew vs Kirkintilloch Rob Roy, Thornywood United vs Ashfield. Second Division, Caledonian Locomotives vs Yoker Athletic. Third Division, Finnart vs Glasgow Perthshire. Fourth Division, Port Glasgow Juniors v West Park United, Rossvale vs St Peters. And that article was unattributed and it was read by me, Ian.
That concludes this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast. Please remember to subscribe to our channels at Tune Review and to tell your friends about our service.